Being tired is now a personality. We laugh about burnout. We make jokes about having no energy. And sometimes we wear exhaustion, like a strange little badge of honor. But what if being tired all the time is not normal at all? And what if the real problem is something we have stopped noticing? Stay with us, because the answer might surprise you.
Hey, you guys. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Emma, and I'm here with Alex.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alex. I have brought tea today, which means I am prepared for serious emotional discussion, or at least quite prepared.
That is very British of you.
Cheers. I do my best.
So, today we're talking about burnout. And actually, I remember one week when I kept saying, I'm fine, I'm totally fine. But I was answering emails at midnight, forgetting lunch, and getting angry at my washing machine because it was too loud.
The washing machine had no idea it was part of a mental health story.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Burnout can look normal from the outside.
Yes. You might still go to work, still reply to messages, still smile in the queue at the coffee shop, but inside, everything feels rather heavy.
We're going to get into something that honestly surprised even us. Why rest sometimes feels difficult. Why saying, I'm tired can become part of your identity. And what English phrases you can use to talk about it clearly.
But first, here's the question we need to answer. When does normal tiredness become something much deeper?
Surprising fact number 1. Burnout is not just being sleepy after a long day. It can make you feel empty, annoyed, slow, and even disconnected from things you used to enjoy.
Exactly. You might say, I'm not just tired, I feel burned out.
Burned out, yes. Like your energy candle has completely melted.
For example, after 3 months of working late every night, I felt burned out and couldn't enjoy my weekend.
That sentence is super useful. And, learners, notice this. We usually say, I feel burned out, not I am burnout.
Quite right. Burnout is the noun. Burned out describes how you feel.
Oh, by the way, when I say burnout, I just mean a strong feeling of emotional and physical tiredness, usually after too much stress for too long.
I remember a time when I was working on a project, and I kept telling myself it was fine. I had my little list, my tea, my flat was tidy, everything looked sorted. But one morning I spent 10 minutes looking for my keys while holding them in my hand.
No way.
Yes. A brilliant moment for my self-confidence.
I'm sorry, but that is a perfect burnout story.
It was rather embarrassing. I reckon my brain had simply gone on strike.
I actually think that's important. Burnout doesn't always arrive with dramatic music. Sometimes it arrives as forgetting your keys, eating cereal for dinner, or staring at one email for 20 minutes.
I'm not sure about the cereal. That sounds like a valid dinner.
Really? I actually think cereal for dinner on day 1 is fine. Cereal for dinner every night because you can't make decisions? That might be a sign.
Fair point. So burnout is not laziness. It is a warning signal.
Exactly. And speaking of warning signals, let's talk about the modern problem of being available all the time.
Surprising fact number 2. For many people, the workday no longer ends when they leave work. The phone follows them home like a tiny boss in their pocket.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's the always reachable life.
We might say people are always on.
Always on, totally. It means you feel like you can never stop checking messages.
For example, when my phone is next to my bed, I feel always on, even at night.
That one is painfully real. I used to check work messages first thing in the morning. Before coffee, before breakfast, before being a human person.
That sounds rather dangerous.
It was. I thought I was being responsible, but actually I was training my brain to panic before 8 a.m.
I might disagree slightly. Sometimes checking messages early can help you feel in control.
Really? I actually think it depends. If checking once helps you plan, fine. But if you check 10 times and still feel nervous, that's not control. That's stress wearing a business jacket.
A stress jacket. I rather like that. Very unpleasant, but fashionable.
Exactly. And for English learners, always on is casual but clear. You can say it at work, with friends, or in a podcast like this.
Another useful phrase is switch off.
Yes, switch off means to stop thinking about work or stress.
For example, I try to switch off after dinner by putting my phone in another room.
I love that. And I need to do that more. Because sometimes I'm watching a movie, but my brain is still answering emails.
Mine writes emails in my sleep. They are not good emails, but they are emails.
That's interesting, because in the next point, burnout isn't just in your mind. It shows up in your body too.
Surprising fact number 3. Your body may notice burnout before you do. Headaches, tight shoulders, poor sleep, stomach problems, and low energy can all be part of the picture.
Totally. And this is where people often say, I'm running on empty.
Running on empty. That means you have almost no energy left, like a car with no fuel.
For example, I kept working all week, but by Friday I was running on empty.
I once had a week where every small task felt enormous. Replying to a simple message felt like climbing a bloody mountain.
That is so real.
I would look at the message. Fancy coffee? A kind message. A simple message. And I would think, this requires a committee.
A committee for coffee.
Exactly. And then I would not reply for 3 days, which is not ideal.
I'm not sure that's only burnout. That might also be very British social energy.
Quite possibly. But when even nice things feel too big, your body and brain may be asking for rest.
Another phrase learners need is feel overwhelmed.
Yes. Feel overwhelmed means everything feels like too much.
For example, I feel overwhelmed when I have too many tasks and no clear plan.
That sentence is brilliant for daily life. You can use it with a teacher, manager, friend, or family member.
Oh, by the way, when I say overwhelmed, I just mean you have more than you feel able to handle. Too many tasks, too many emotions, too much noise, too much everything.
And the hard part is that people often try to push through.
Yes, push through means to continue even when something is difficult.
For example, I tried to push through my tiredness, but I made more mistakes.
I have definitely done that. I thought if I just worked harder, I would solve the problem. But the harder I worked, the slower I became.
Like trying to fix a printer by shouting at it.
Does that work?
Never. But it feels meaningful for 3 seconds.
Exactly. And speaking of pushing through, here's the thing nobody talks about. Burnout can change your emotions too.
Surprising fact number 4. Burnout can make kind people feel cold, funny people feel quiet, and patient people feel angry at tiny things.
Yes. Like when someone asks one normal question and your brain says, absolutely not.
A useful phrase here is red flag.
Red flag, yes. It means a warning sign.
For example, getting angry at small problems was a red flag for me.
I love that sentence because it's honest. A red flag is not always a disaster. It's a sign that says, hey, pay attention.
I once became extremely annoyed because someone in front of me in the queue was choosing a sandwich slowly.
Alex, no.
I know. A shocking crime, considering lunch options.
I get it, though. When you're burned out, normal life can feel too loud.
Exactly. And then you may carry a mental load.
Mental load means all the thinking, planning, remembering, and worrying you carry in your mind.
For example, my mental load felt heavy because I was thinking about work, bills, family, and laundry.
That's such a B2 phrase, and it's very useful. You might not be physically carrying anything, but your brain is carrying a backpack full of invisible rocks.
Very poetic. Slightly terrifying.
And personal story. When I felt burned out, I wasn't crying every day. I was just annoyed by everything. My phone battery, the weather, emails that said just checking in.
Just checking in is a dangerous phrase.
It really is.
I'm not sure annoyance always means burnout, though. Sometimes people are simply hungry.
True. Food first, therapy second.
Sensible order.
But if you eat, sleep, take a walk, and you still feel angry all the time, that's a sign.
Exactly. And speaking of signs, the next point is about what many people avoid. Boundaries.
Surprising fact number 5. Rest does not always work if you keep letting stress walk back into the room.
That is rather well put. You need to set boundaries.
Set boundaries means you decide what is okay and what is not okay for your time, energy, or space.
For example, I need to set boundaries and stop answering work messages after 7 p.m.
Learner moment. When we say boundaries, we don't mean walls. We mean healthy limits. Like saying, I can help tomorrow, but not tonight.
A boundary can be polite. It doesn't need to sound rude.
Yes. You can say, I'm not available right now, or I need more time. Or can we discuss this tomorrow?
Another useful phrase is take a break.
Take a break means stop working or stop doing something for a short time.
For example, I'm going to take a break for 10 minutes and then come back to this task.
I used to think taking a break was wasting time. But then I realized my no break work was not actually good work.
That is the dark comedy of productivity. You save 10 minutes by not resting, then lose 30 minutes because your brain has become soup.
Brain soup. Not awesome.
No, rather poor texture.
I slightly disagree on one thing, though. Sometimes people hear set boundaries and think it means saying no to everything.
I see that.
But it can also mean saying yes more clearly. Like, yes, I can do this by Friday, instead of, sure, I'll somehow do everything immediately.
That's a brilliant point. A boundary can make communication kinder.
Exactly. And speaking of kinder, the next point is probably the hardest one for ambitious people.
Surprising fact number 6. The most productive choice is sometimes to stop, ask for help, and not pretend you are fine.
That is so hard for people.
We often need to ask for help.
Ask for help, yes. It means telling someone you need support.
For example, I need to ask for help because I can't finish this alone.
I love how simple that is. A2 learners can use it, but adults still find it difficult.
Very true. Another phrase is slow down.
Slow down means move or work more slowly.
For example, I need to slow down this week because I'm making too many mistakes.
I remember telling a friend, I can't do everything right now. And I expected her to be disappointed. But she said, thank you for telling me. I almost cried.
That is rather lovely.
It was. And it taught me that asking for help is not weakness. It can actually protect relationships.
I'm not sure everyone responds well, though.
True. Some people don't. But if you never say anything, people may not know you're struggling.
That is fair. Silence can look like agreement.
Exactly. And sometimes you need to be kind to yourself.
Be kind to yourself means don't speak to yourself in a cruel or harsh way.
For example, I made a mistake, but I can be kind to myself and try again tomorrow.
That sentence is useful. Though I admit, my inner voice can be a very strict headmaster.
Mine can be a dramatic little weather report. Everything is terrible. Back to you in the studio.
Quite vivid.
But here's the truth. Burnout often gets worse when we talk to ourselves like machines. Do more. Hurry up. Why are you tired?
Yes. Instead, we might say, I'm human. I need rest. I can get back on track slowly.
Back on track, yes. It means returning to a good direction after a problem.
For example, after a quiet weekend, I felt ready to get back on track.
That's important. Back on track doesn't mean perfect. It means moving again.
Exactly. And now, we need to talk about the most surprising part of all.
Okay, here's the part that shocked me. Sometimes burnout feels safe because it is familiar.
I'm sorry. What?
I mean it. If you are always busy, always tired, always needed, then rest can feel strange. Quiet can feel uncomfortable.
No, I strongly disagree. Rest should feel good. Rest is the point. A cup of tea, a quiet flat, no emails. That is civilization.
I know. But listen. Some people feel guilty when they rest. They sit down, and their brain says, "You should be doing something."
That is horribly familiar.
Exactly. So the surprising idea is this. Burnout is painful, but for some people it becomes part of their identity. I'm the busy one. I'm the strong one. I'm the one who never stops.
That is rather dark.
It is. And then rest feels like losing your role.
So, if someone says, "I'm just tired," maybe they are also saying, "I don't know who I am when I'm not useful."
Yes. That's the clip. That's the sentence.
Bloody hell.
Let's make this practical. Simple role play. Imagine you are burned out at work and you need to speak to your manager.
I'll be the employee. You be the manager.
Great.
Hi, Emma. Do you have 5 minutes? I'm feeling really tired, and I'm worried I can't do my best work right now.
Thanks for telling me. What's going on?
I have too many tasks this week. I need to move one deadline, or I need help choosing what is most important.
That's okay. Let's look at the list together. What feels most urgent?
The client report is urgent. The meeting notes can wait until tomorrow.
That sounds reasonable. Let's focus on the report today and move the notes to tomorrow.
Thank you. That helps a lot. I already feel less overwhelmed.
See? Simple language. No drama. No long speech. Just clear, honest English.
And quite brave, actually.
For sure.
We still haven't figured out whether modern life makes people burned out, or whether people have simply learned to call burnout normal.
That question bothers me. Because sometimes I wonder, are we tired because we do too much? Or because we never really stop?
Perhaps both. Perhaps we have confused being useful with being alive.
That is a quiet sentence, Alex.
I do have them occasionally.
So, here's our question for you. What makes you feel tired? Write your answer in English in the comments. We read every single one.
It could be work, school, family, social media, too many messages, or maybe just trying to make dinner when your brain has become soup.
Brain soup returns.
A tragic sequel.
And you don't need perfect English. You can write, "I feel tired when," and finish the sentence.
Yes. Simple is good. Honest is better.
Next time. Let's just say it involves something most people do every single day, but never talk about.
Cheers for listening, everyone.
Take care of yourselves, you guys.